Good morning, friends. How are we all? It's another catch-up vlog. Oh my god, I am such a back-to-back catch-upper because it's been a while. A lot has happened. A lot. As you can hear, I lost my voice. I was quite unwell a couple of weeks ago. My voice has never really come back. We'll get into that. I was kind of waiting for my voice to come back to do a vlog. And then I realised it's just not going to happen. My voice is not in any rush to return to my body. I'm drinking my vitamin C, as I do every morning. Doesn't appear to be giving me a boost of health at this particular moment. Just got a chilled few days. It's super rainy here in England, which is very frustrating because you just feel like spring is just on the cusp and you'll have like a gorgeous bright day and then back to rain. And I just want to squeeze a little bit of vlogging in to catch up and just say hi, check in with you guys. Alex is, well, he's here today, but he's actually away this weekend, which I think will be good in terms of, I will probably just sit down and edit in the evenings and hopefully have this up on Sunday. Rue would like to show you her Easter bonnet, which she definitely made. It's a hot cross bun in case you can't tell. You gonna put it on? Oh, look at you. Okay, it's always short-lived, isn't it? Oh, one more. Let's go, third time lucky. Oh, okay. You helped me a little bit with this, didn't you? Sort of. You splodged some paint on and you splodged some PVA glue on. If you follow me on Instagram, you probably will have already seen my story about that Easter bonnet. But basically, there was an Easter bonnet competition at nursery and I just thought, well, this is probably the only year when she's not really going to help me because she's 16 months old. So I'll just have a bit of fun with it. She's stealing her dad's lunch. You never really know what the vibe is going to be. Is it going to be super competitive? I was a teacher for 10 years. So I am no stranger to how seriously some parents take these things. But I personally like it when the children have made it. Like Easter bonnets, World Book Day costumes. It shouldn't just be like, oh, what can my mum make or what can my mum buy? And dad, sorry. Mum and dad buy. Or parent or relevant caregiver. Anyway, so I made that Easter bonnet with a little bit of help from Rue. She wasn't really interested, to be perfectly honest with you. And then when they broke up for Easter, the bonnets were judged and we were able to take them home again. So I go to pick her up at midday. So I got to see all the bonnets there lined up because none of the other parents had come to collect yet. I could see like these pristine, really well put together bonnet, and then Rue's hot cross bun. And I was just pissing myself laughing. Unfortunately, she didn't win. But hey, art is subjective. Maybe my work won't be appreciated until after my time, you know, like Van Gogh. We got a new lovevery kit. It's very cute. It's called the Pioneer and it's got so many cute little bits in it. Let me show you. It's got this, I don't know what these are called actually, but it's obviously just where the cars go down. You've got your two little cars and it's got 2 tracks. The only thing I wish is that it had somewhere to store these somewhere on here. I think that'd be so good that they don't get lost. We've got this thread the needle situation, which she adores. She couldn't do this at first, could you? You were getting a bit frustrated, but you've practiced and now you're really good at it. It's got this, which is like a felt tree, and then it's got some sticky insects inside, which is great for, well, there's the ant stuck in there. It's great for like nature conversations and things like that. So basically they're using their dexterity, obviously they can stick them on, but it's using their dexterity to pull them off and their fine motor grip, because you do have to grip quite hard to get some of them off. And then they're also manipulating, like holding it whilst pulling them off, opening and closing the lid, which she absolutely loves. What's so funny about this toy is that this is the item that when I looked at the whole play kit, I kind of thought, I don't think she's going to get much out of that. And actually this is the thing she's played with the most. So it just goes to show that I know nothing. She loves pulling the insects and then we name them and we sing. Like every time she pulls this one off, I have to sing the ants come marching 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah. And she loves it. That was a hit, which I didn't expect, but it's a nice surprise. This is the puzzle for this play kit. If you remember last time they were all circles, that's the easiest shape to match up. These are all still relatively easy shapes because they don't have corners, but they are obviously a bit more complex. And again, great for giving us a chance to like name things. Is this a turnip? I don't know. Or is it a beet? or I'm not sure. I've been calling it a turnip. So you've got your carrot, onion, lettuce, or is that a cabbage? Turnip, and a trowel. Well, I've been saying spade. I feel like that's an easier word. This is the book for this play kit. It's about a little boy and his nan going to the park. And there was also this stacking thing, which fits really satisfyingly in this old lint Christmas chocolate tin. Obviously, building on those stacking skills, they fit together. You can make towers. Because the play kits cover a 3-month period, you do find that they very intensely play with something at the beginning and then they move on to others. In the last play kit, we got this. She didn't play with it much at all at the beginning. And then towards the end, it was like her favourite toy. I do feel like some of them they love from the offset and then some of them they grew into. That's the new play kit. It was definitely nice to have a little injection of new things for her to look at. It came at a really good time, actually. What have you got there? Is that a carrot? More? Well, you've taken them all out, look. Should we put them back in? Carrot. What's that one? An onion. Can you show everyone how you say more? No. Well done. Everything is just really starting to click with her speech at the moment. She's not saying like a massive amount of words, but she's so interested in trying to say things. She can say ball. She can say more. She can sort of say puddle and cuddle, but they get a bit confused sometimes. Car. She loves pointing at the cars and saying car. I genuinely, like, just a week or two ago was Googling whether to be worried about her speech, which is ridiculous. I know it's ridiculous to be. That was very noisy. Are you a noisy bum? I just had a little interview on Teams for a magazine article that's coming up in New Food magazine, I want to say. I might have got that wrong. I really should know these things before I start talking. I've had quite a few really interesting opportunities lately, one of which was, when was it? God, like a month ago now. I actually was invited to speak on a panel at a conference that was run by The Grocer. So many food companies were there, M&S, etc. Jamie Lang was there with his co-founder of Candy Kittens. They did a little talk just after mine. I was on the panel. We were talking about connecting with Gen Z and working with brands. I guess things like that happen and like, I feel like, really? Do you want to invite me? But then at the same time, I have to remind myself, like, you've been asked for a reason. They obviously think you have something worth talking about or something to say. I've just been trying to say yes to these things and it was really great. I got on the train to London. I was feeling like a business babe. Got my coffee, sat on the train. Alex had to take the day off work to look after Rue. But it was actually really nice to like have a day where I was just off doing work. She wasn't here, love you Rue, and I was just an adult for the day. I was on stage, I had a microphone, I was answering questions. It was wild and I managed to hold my shit together and actually speak coherently. If you're a bit like me and you get imposter syndrome or anything like that, like I always think to myself, whenever I get imposter syndrome, I think, would a man in my position be feeling like he shouldn't be here? Would a man in my position really be feeling like they don't deserve a seat around this table? Because I've worked with a lot of men and I'm not blaming them. I'm not saying that it's a fault of men. It's actually great. But I just think conditioning-wise, environment-wise, they have less reason, I guess, to feel like they don't belong somewhere. Now I need to go and make cauliflower cheese bites because Rue's gone down for a nap. I need to use this time very wisely. That's going to be my video on Sunday. I hope they turn out well because I've never actually made these before, but I think they will. I think they will. Opting for a little weekend breakfast today. Thanks for giving me my breakfast. Mom. More breakfast. Mom. Oh, you're so clever. Mom. You've been mixing it for a long time. Do we ever get to eat it? Thank you. Can I have some more, please? That was my glasses, Rue. Got to be careful. Thank you. And Mummy, have a kiss. Good morning. Don't mind my early morning get up. We're just chilling. Rue's watching a little bit of morning telly. What are you doing? You'll fall in that hole. Okay, she's fallen in the hole. 2 seconds. We've really been making an effort lately to cut down on screen time. I've realised the irony that I'm talking to you about this while she's watching TV. I'm not worried about her watching TV. The research is so varied, and in reality, anything child development related is based on so many variables added together. You know, you can't just pinpoint one factor and say that's the issue. We're at home a lot, and I think the tendency can be to like have the TV on in the background all the time. I mean, maybe I'm just exposing myself. Maybe not everybody lives like that, but it will be something on that like none of us are particularly interested in watching. It's just there as like background noise. Previously, where say I wanted to like hang up the laundry or something, she might just be in here with TV on. I just don't put it on now, just leave it. She actually likes helping me, or she'll just play in my vicinity. She tends to follow me around a bit. And it's been fine. Sorry about this in the background. It could be really distracting when I come to edit this. I might be like, why did I decide to have that conversation when the TV was on? I saw this awful post a couple of weeks ago, basically trying to slander Miss Rachel and say that she was like capitalising off of, well, I mean, obviously in the purest sense, she is capitalising in the sense that she gets money, but like basically saying that she was being strategic in roping children into more screen time, and that screen time had links to like ADHD and autism traits and all these things. And I just thought it was an outrageous post, to be perfectly honest with you, because firstly, Miss Rachel is a teacher. So the fact that she can hold a child's attention is just literally part of her job. For a lot of children, she's been such a massive turning point in their speech and language. And I'm not saying that that's right, but ultimately parents are not always best equipped to teach those skills. So if a child can watch a YouTube video and be getting that education, surely that's better than nothing. I think a lot of the screen time arguments stem from this idea that without screen time, the offer that a child would be getting would be better and richer education, when actually, in a lot of households, that isn't the case for a variety of reasons. Okay, it's just got a whole lot noisier in here because now she's playing with her keyboard. You jamming? Yeah, I sound like I'm really championing screen time. I'm not. Obviously, I'm not saying that just unlimited screen time is the best thing, but I also do not think it should be demonised. I really don't. Baba. Yeah, it's a sheep. Do you want to press it? I mean, it's the same as this argument that only wooden toys can open up genuine play and learning experiences, and that's just not true. This is plastic and electric as they come. It allows her to explore music, which is linked to mathematical concepts. She's exploring patterns, cause and effect. There is definitely, you know, learning to be had everywhere. I just think in this day and age, we're a bit polarised about everything. It's so tiring. You've either got to be like, no screen time. Majority of parents fall in between all of these things, and I think we really need to like normalise that and shout about it a bit more. Anyway, that's my randomly profound child development rant of the morning. Wow. Is that good? Wow, that's cool. A little roller thing, which I want to try. So I put water in this tray. Oh yeah. That's awesome. Do you want to try? Oh, wow. The other week I posted on my story that we were doing some water painting, which is where you get like coloured paper or even just brown, you know, like brown paper that you can use for wrapping is really good for it because you can just roll out a big sheet. And then I gave her some makeup brushes because I didn't have any paintbrushes. Oops. Yeah, I gave her some paintbrushes and some water. And obviously then she can just have fun with mark making and stuff. So it's kind of like an extension of that, but she's definitely enjoying all the colours. Ready? Star. A star. Well done. Wow. Star. Star. Looking a bit crazy. I went on one of my best friends' hen do's last weekend. We went to Portugal, which was bloomin' delightful. Seriously, what is this bit of hair doing? Basically, I cut my hair before that trip. I cut my own hair. It's a long story, but there are not that many people who know how to cut curly hair, and therefore I'm left with no choice. I cut my hair and I hadn't done it in quite a while. Probably like a year, which is insane, but just baby life, hadn't got around to it. I just chuck it up all the time anyway, as you know. Made the mistake of forgetting that my hair bounces up at least 30% of the length when it's dry, if not more. And when it's just been cut, it's obviously even bouncier. And it just got to a really nice length for like big messy buns as well. I snipped off quite a generous length. And then as soon as it was dry, I was like, So yeah, at the moment it's quite short, but what is nice is having slightly shorter layers in the front. Little trim turned into the big chop by accident. Taking her out for a little walk, and I'm wearing Alex's coat. Not gonna lie, I feel like it's kind of a vibe. It is massive though, and I'm already quite warm, so let's go. Can you hear an aeroplane? Certain somebody keeps stealing things out of the fridge. Yes, you. Apple is a common choking hazard, don't you know? This was an earlier casualty of today. Cucumber. The reason there's a half-eaten apple in the fridge is because we grate some apple into her porridge every morning. Like sometimes she has apple and cinnamon, sometimes apple and peanut butter. Yeah, it means that we've often just got a sort of semi-used up apple in the fridge somewhere, which she knows, and she has cottoned onto the fact that if she can open the fridge, there's something delicious inside. Our little fruit monster keeps just helping herself, basically. Rue's just having her toast. I just got a couple of parcels dropped off, so I thought I would open them with you guys. So some of them are from Vinted. I've been shopping for like next size up stuff for her. Can't really remember what I bought, but all I know is these things were super cheap. But yeah, okay, this, I'm pretty sure this was £1.50. I think it's originally Georgia Asda or something, but it's just a little soft set of dungarees. It's kind of like a toweling material. I thought that was cute. I love these soft dungarees because we've been given a few pairs as gifts that are like either denim or like corduroy material. You all done? Do you want your drink? You go have some water. Oh, bless me. Achoo! Mummy sneezed. I know. Well, it's not a cough, but yeah, close. Achoo! But yeah, it just felt like whenever she moved, the poppers would come undone, or they just didn't look that comfortable. Whereas when you go for like the soft options, you don't really have that problem. They're super comfortable in them all day. What do you think we should do, Rue? Should we just rip it? Oh my God. I think it's like a really small item that's wrapped in a whole bin bag. I'll be back. This is a set from Zara. I mean, the label is a bit mangled, but whatever. Little long sleeve top, and then the matching leggings. I love having sets like these for her for nursery. Obviously, you don't want to send them in their best clothes because they're doing things like painting and all the rest of it. They put on little like overshirts and aprons, but they're often quite loose and things tend to sneak in places. I made an order on H&M, and obviously now they've got a couple of other brands in there, all owned by the H&M umbrella. So Arquette, Monkey, Weekday, that's who this is from. I made a bigger order, but this t-shirt was from Weekday, so it was posted out separately. So that's something to bear in mind. Like, I didn't realise, I don't know what I thought, that they had a central warehouse, I'm not sure. But if you purchase from the different brands, you literally do get different shipments. Here it is, a nice plain white tee, because I noticed that all of mine are just looking a bit old and tired. And when it's a white t-shirt as well, like, you can really notice. It's quite a boxy fit, which I love. And it's kind of a shorter, sitting on the hips styling. And I know I said I was going to do a video, my new style. Just like me growing into my new shape and finding my style again a bit, because I'd lost myself slightly there. And I definitely still want to film that video. I just haven't really got enough stuff yet to make it worthwhile. I've got a clearer picture in my head now of what I want to get. I definitely want to just build like that capsule wardrobe of outfits that make me feel good. And I've made some good progress, but I'm not quite there yet in terms of filming a video, especially because we're now in that to summer transition. It's a little bit like, oh, do you know what? I might show you this stuff when she's gone down for a nap. I'll catch her in a bit. She's gone down for a sleep. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna show you this H&M order, and then I'm gonna go for a lie down because I'm pooped. I don't know why. The last half an hour that she was awake, we were reading books together, and I could just feel my eyes closing. I was like, oh my God, I could actually just fall asleep sitting up right now. This H&M order, did I need to make it? Probably not. It's a whole mixture of things. There's not really a theme. It's a lot of bits for Rue, and then just some other bits for me. I bought her another hooded bath towel / beach towel. It's just one of the ones that's got the nice hood shape and then nice big towel. And the print is salty sea, how cute. And it's got like crabs and ice creams and clouds and birds and all sorts of nice seaside-y things. I don't know if I mentioned yesterday, my sister had her baby just before I went away on my friend's hen do. She had her second baby, Theo, and he is just, oh my God, my heart. The cutest little dot I've ever, well, I can't say I've ever seen because I've now seen obviously my other nephew and my own daughter. They're all just so cute. I love them so much. He's got this shock of like thick black hair. Oh, my heart, seriously. I bought him some little dungas. The little clothes are just too cute, aren't they? And when you have a little person in your life, you can't help but get all the things. So for Rue, I'm not going to unwrap these right now, but they're basically two pieces. We've got this little Guantanamo Bay number, orange and peach stripes, top and leggings. Again, the idea for this is nursery. This one is a nice pinky ribbed design. I saw a clip of her the other day in like a brownie one that I bought her when she was, God, I don't know how old she would be, maybe like 4 or 5 months old. And then also this design, which I thought was super cute, which is just beige with little like coffee brown turtles. Tortoises or turtles? Maybe they're tortoises. Then on to a couple of bits for me. Nothing majorly exciting, I have to say. I got a black t-shirt. Similar to what I was saying about the white t-shirt, it's just nice to have some new basics, isn't it? And this is just a very simple design. I mean, I think that was like £3 or something. But again, I don't really have any black t-shirts that aren't cropped, so it's nice to have the option. I bought 3 pairs of pants, which is really interesting. This was actually the reason that I made the order, or should I say, this is the thing that drew me to H&M in the first place, even though I shop on there all the time, so I don't need any excuse. But I have a few pairs of summer trousers, and I was sorting through all my clothes the other day for things to sell on Vinted, and I was so close to selling these 3 pairs of trousers that I've got. I love them and I love the fit, but you can always see my pants, so I just don't wear them. And I think when you're brown as well, it's really hard. Like a lot of these tricks online, those rules just don't really work when you're a person of colour, because like, the contrast of the pant against my leg is what stands out. So long story short, I bought some seamless pairs of brown pants. What are these called? Brazilian mid-rise, and they're just like, you know, seamless edge. I mean, I can already see that that's going to be wedge central, but it's fine. You know, we do what we have to do. I'm hoping that this will be a good solution to the trouser problem, because I figure if it's just the same colour as my skin or similar-ish colour, everything will just blend and it won't be noticeable. If it doesn't solve the problem, then I will have to sell the trousers. Fingers crossed. Keep your fingers crossed for me and my pants. I bought one of their waffle dressing gowns. I am such a dressing gown person. I live in my dressing gown. And I just thought, like, why not get a little summer version? It's a conscious choice. What does that mean? 20% recycled cotton, 20% recycled polyester. I got this in a large because I do like a looser fit of loungewear. It's just a very nice waffle knit. You'll definitely enjoy that. Like sometimes you have those days, don't you, where you get up and you shower, but you're not really going anywhere, so you might get into a fresh set of PJs. Is that just me? You're not going anywhere, you just want to be comfortable. Fresh loungewear, that dressing gown, perfection. And then the last thing I got was this dress. It's just a very simple shape, strappy summer dress, crinkle material. I'll try to insert a picture of it on the model here because it looks better on, obviously. I'm just thinking, you know, you could wear this in so many different ways for the summer. It's definitely one of those transitional pieces that could be lovely daytime with some really simple brown sandals, and then would transform really nicely into an evening outfit with a blazer and some heels. And also, I just really love the material. I feel like when you're going, I don't like to say boring because it's literally what I like, but when you are going for more tonal colours, being able to have that variety with texture is really nice because it just elevates an outfit, doesn't it? It makes it look like you've put in a bit more effort even though you really haven't, you've just thrown on a dress. That's what I got from H&M. I really want to sit and just talk through what the last few weeks have been like, have a chat with you guys about like starting a business and what that's been like, or our first product launch. I feel like I might be getting ahead of myself to say starting a business, and then I wonder, is that imposter syndrome telling me that? Because technically, you know, I've got a shop and I'm selling products, so that is what it is. Anyway, right now I've got to go and close my eyes for a moment while Rue is asleep because I'm so tired. I did not go to sleep. I sat on the couch and drank a cup of tea, ate a Sainsbury's milk chocolate cookie, and then really regretted the fact that I didn't sleep when I saw that she was waking up. So such is baby life. Put up a shelf and a print. Put up a shelf and a print in her room. You can obviously only do it when she's awake, because otherwise she's asleep in her room. Shall I pop you down? What? This is what I did in Rue's room earlier. Excuse the light because I closed the curtains. I put up just one of the IKEA what's it called? Flotsam shelves, I think. I got this gorgeous weather station from Tiger, which I think is adorable. I got this print up, which my mum made for Rue when she was born. And I also got this print up, which Mum bought for Rue for Christmas. And completely by coincidence, it matches, kind of matches at least, the other little prints I got her when we were first doing the nursery. At last, bedtime complete. And you are solo parenting. I have a kind of hatred for that phrase, but when you're on your own, even though I would do bedtime on my own anyway, or Alex would do bedtime, he actually does bedtime more often than me. Even though we do the thing alone, just having the other person in the house seems to make it easier. I would sit with her while she has her bottle and Alex would put the bath on or whatever. Or if you've forgotten something, you can shout them. They're downstairs, they can chuck something up to you. But when you're on your own, it's like, meh. But anyway, she's asleep. I went to take a bin bag out and there are a few parcels on the doorstep. I bought Rue a cot bed pillow. These are suitable from 12 months, machine washable, anti-allergy, uniquely soft and slim, designed for little dreamers. Also the fridge child lock arrived, thank God. It just looks like this. So I think once it's on, you just press these buttons down. She'll probably work this out, to be honest. I also got this book, which I'm a bit annoyed because Amazon literally just left this outside my door and it was all wet on the floor. And so it's soaked through and my book's gone curly. So this is a book by a lady called Lisa Lister, who I don't know much about. It's called Witch, Unleashed, Untamed, Unapologetic. A witch is a woman in her power. She's wise, a healer, someone who is aligned with the cycles of Mother Nature and the phases of the moon. Yet for so long, the word witch has had negative connotations, being used as an insult, a slur, and to perpetuate fear. In this book, third generation hereditary witch. Okay. Lisa Lister explains the history behind witchcraft, why in past centuries the word witch has led women to be tortured, drowned and burned at the stake, and why the witch is now waking once again in women across the world today. I just thought it sounded really interesting. I was basically listening to Grace Beverley's podcast, Working Hard, Hardly Working, and she had Lauren Mann on there. Girl versus Cancer. Lauren, she's amazing. Follow her on social media. She talked about this book only in passing, but whatever she said about it seemed so convincing that I went and bought it immediately. Anyway, I've sat down to chat and I haven't actually talked about any of the things I was planning to talk about. So, businessy things. I want to go into detail, but I also don't want to go into loads of detail because I think some people will just find that boring and, you know. So I saw comments online saying that I'd like hooked up with a company or an agent to create these products, and that is not true at all. Alex and I did it. We contacted manufacturers talking about which would be the best option and the back and forth of samples and getting the products that we want. We did that all ourselves, including like customs, fulfillment, everything. And that was a massive learning curve for me. My background is in teaching, so even just the business world in itself is like a little bit alien. Because I've done a bit of copywriting, I'm in tune with like the marketing side of it. When our products were ready, I wanted to make sure that we got them as quickly as possible because it was a pre-order. I knew my customers were waiting. I wanted to get the product to them. I was excited to get it to them. So I paid to have it shipped by air, which is like, I was actually shocked how much more expensive it is to have it shipped by air than by sea. It's like 4 times the price. But I felt like for this drop especially, it just needed to happen. In future, when I've got rolling stock on the shop, it doesn't matter as much because people aren't going to be waiting. The products are going to be bought because they're in stock. Whereas for this first drop, it was a pre-order, so I wanted to get the stuff quickly. So anyway, dropped an eye-watering amount of money to get it shipped by air. When the products landed in the UK, I was like, well, where are they? Customs basically had them for a little while and delayed things by 1 or 2 weeks from the timeline the desired timeline that I had in my head, which was frustrating, but at the same time, there's like literally nothing you can do about it. I had all my paperwork in order. I was ringing people all the time, back and forthing with people. In the end, then just randomly phoned somebody and he was like, oh yeah, they'll be on their way to your house tomorrow. I was like, oh my God. Our packaging is custom printed. This is the large letter box. When I had noticed that the bibs were starting to come, then it was time to make them all up because basically they're stored flat. And then the company will make them up and send them made up because they don't necessarily have the space to like make up hundreds and hundreds of boxes and store them. So they have them flat pack, if you like, and then they build them. When they started putting them together, they basically realised that they had printed the wrong box size. I will tell you, on the day when I found out my bibs were arriving, I was so stressed about everything. I got ill. I mean, you guys have probably noticed this pattern by now, but the second any amount of stress comes into my life, my glands go, I'm out of here. Or rather, I'm here and I'm swelling up massively. I've always been like this, and I always burn the candle at both ends as well. My brain will not switch off. That's the problem. I get very little downtime in moments of stress because I'm not good at switching off. So then when I found out that this packaging situation, I thought I was going to have a mental breakdown. They basically have to like print it, then they have to leave the die for like 24 hours before they can cut them out and make them up. So I was just le stress at this point. Even though it was only a day or two's delay, at that point, I just felt like it was everything. I like felt my world was crashing down. Alex had to be like, stop being crazy. It will arrive when it arrives and we will get things out as quickly as we can. It's outside of your hands. So there's no point in stressing to this level about it. And I was like, I know you're right, but I can't help it, basically. Fast forward to the packaging arriving, and then it was like all hands on deck, packing and shipping, or well, packing and shipping, yeah. Packing and shipping orders. I don't know why that sounded weird the first time I said it. I recruited my mum, we were up. I mean, the other part of this that makes it difficult is obviously I still had Rue. A lot of it was waiting for her to go to bed and then packing and shipping through the evening. We did one late night stint and I paid my mum in Domino's pizza. And then the next morning she came back over. Luckily Alex was working from home, so he was able to kind of like help a bit with Rue. And the postman was coming at midday to pick up these hundreds of orders. Basically said to me, okay, he'll be here at 1 p.m. You have to be ready. It was getting closer and closer to 1 and we still had some orders to pack. I was like, oh my God, I was sweating. And then the postie arrived like 20 minutes early and I opened the door. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, we're not ready yet. They told me that you'd be here at 1, and he was like, it's no problem. I can come back. I can go and do some other bits and come back to you in about an hour. I was like, yes. So by some amazing twist of fate, we got a little bit more time, which was perfect because it meant that I got to pack all of the orders and like check through everything. I'm the kind of person where I've got to have my spreadsheet, I've got to be checking things off, I've got to double and triple check things. Otherwise I will literally be like up at night time, even if it's just a tiny thing that the customer probably wouldn't even care about. They'd probably just email me and be like, hey, could you fix this? And I'd say, yeah, it's just a small problem. But for me, those are the things that keep me up at night. Postie came, he took away like so many big postage bags, so many boxes of orders. And when I tell you, when the last of those orders left my house, I could have broken down in tears. I just felt like it's the first time in weeks that I was able to just like breathe. And I know what I'm describing to you probably doesn't sound like a very enjoyable experience. You might be thinking to yourself like, why would you put yourself through this? But I think it's just the type of person that I am. I don't get in a flap in the moment and I can work to a deadline and I can multitask. But it definitely takes its toll in terms of like, my brain is just, it won't switch off for weeks on end and then I get sick. But we got it done. That is the main thing. And they were all shipped off. And I've heard so many lovely bits of feedback from people. It's just, yeah, you know, in future when it's a bit more of a like a rolling thing, hopefully that'll be more manageable. And then in the fullness of time, maybe one day we'll have somebody else doing like the fulfillment or whatever, or taking care of the customs and filling out all the codes. That is the dream. To be able to like recruit and delegate would be wonderful. For the meantime, we're just going to continue, obviously just us. And yeah, it's been super exciting. It has given me a buzz for like certain aspects of it, because there's certain things I love doing and I could do just endlessly. And then there's other parts of it that I'm like, oh my God, my brain has turned to scrambled eggs. Anyway, I've just ordered my Nando's and I'm just going to do a little bit of editing while I wait for it to arrive. And then once it's here, I'm going to chill, I'm going to watch some TV and I might have a little bath before bed. But that's it for today. Just chilling, eating Nando's. What more could a girl want?